She wasn't the newest or the flashiest, but when the road turned cruel, she didn't flinch. She bent, but she never broke. The bike that carried me from the edge of the Arctic Ocean in Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, to the Atlantic Ocean in Key West, Florida. Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody, where we review cars and motorcycles. Well, let's be honest, it's mostly motorcycles. And sometimes we take the bikes cross-country. I bought this bike with the sole goal last year of doing the ultimate coast-to-coast ride, which is riding from Prudhoe Bay, Alaska to Key West. That's the route I took. You could do it either way. This is a story, a review, a love note to Phoenix, my 2012 Ducati Multistrada 1200S touring. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your bro man. Let's talk about the geeky stuff. At the heart is that Ducati 1198cc L-twin with the Desmo valves. So you need Desmo service and all that, which is every 18,000 miles. In the front, we have Brembo brakes. In the back, we have Brembo brakes. And we have Öhlins electronic suspension. And this bike has a 25-degree rake angle. What's the rake angle, you ask? Well, draw a perpendicular from the steering mount. Follow the fork tubes. That angle is your rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds, highway speeds, and such. 5.2 gallon fuel tank, give or take. Heated grips, upright seating position, and it does come with panniers and a tour pack that I've taken off. And look, single-sided swing arm. This bike weighs about 520 odd pounds when it's fully fueled and ready to go. That's kind of like the iconic Ducati Multistrada look with the front beak, the headlights, you got little hand guards. You have keyless ignition, so push to start. And you get your little screen here. As you can see, the user interface is a bit dated, but you have your lights here, warning lights, tachometer, speedometer, which gear you're on, fuel gauge, all of that cool stuff. And it has riding modes. So yeah, it's got sport, touring, urban, and enduro. And the windshield is manually adjustable. You just loosen it from the two ends and pull it up or push it down, whatever it is. I have it at its lowest setting, and you can move it up or down a little bit more. And oh, I forgot to mention, the front suspension is what they call a skyhook suspension, so it levels itself out as you're riding. This bike has something. It's got its passport full of roads, cars, and stuff. Like if you look closely at the bottom over there, you can still see remnants of the Dalton Highway. Like they refuse to come off. And on paper, this is a perfect sport touring bike. But this is not about the spec sheets. This is more about how she felt comfortable on days that, I spent like 12 to 15 hour days riding the bike. Perfect. She was stable on the highway, stable when the roads disappeared. She never complained. It was Alaska, the Dalton Highway, where the legend was forged. We hit mud, rocks, gravel, bent the front rim, no fix for 3,000 miles, no backup. Just the bike and the rider. People ask me if I was crazy. Maybe I was. But Phoenix? She did not care. She just kept moving and moving. She got mad a couple of times, but she kept moving. And by the time I limped into Boise, Idaho, and got the bike fixed and taken care of, and this bike was no longer just a machine. She was my partner in crime and my loyal steed. All right, so the ownership experience. I have owned this bike for about a year now, exactly a year now, and I've put about 14,000 miles on it. 12,000 of those were just in a 6-week period from, first my buddy rode it from Seattle all the way up to Anchorage, and then I took it from Anchorage, went down to Homer, up all over Alaska, Prudhoe Bay, Dalton Highway, back through Canada and Key West and back home. So I put it through a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time. Highways, gravel, broken roads, potholes, all that stuff. So is she perfect? Absolutely not. The user interface and the screen and all of that is a bit dated, but it does have a lot of features. You got riding modes, electronic suspension, preloads, all of that fun stuff. Interface is a bit dated, no doubt. The design is a bit dated, sure. Services can be a little expensive because, of course, it's a Ducati. And yeah, parts take a minute to get there, or it's hard to find those parts. Now, on my ride, I was lucky enough not to encounter anything major, but there were a few things that happened. The front fork seals had to be replaced because they started leaking. I bent the front wheel. We'll get to it in a bit. Somewhere on the Dalton Highway, had to get a couple of services done. Went through a couple of sets of tires, and she did throw a couple of temper tantrums. It was a 12-year-old bike at that point. Now it's a 13-year-old bike. That too Italian. But not once did she leave me stranded. Not once did she leave me stranded. She threw a couple of temper tantrums. One was in Canada, in the middle of nowhere in Canada. The bike just died, but that was just because all the terminals, the battery terminals had come loose from all the jerkingness. So put them back together, good to go. And the second was the kickstand indicator, or the side stand sensor. That goes bad oftentimes on Ducatis, and that's what happened. And yeah, simple fix for that. Paperclip. I'll put a little video about that in here. But yeah, other than those, not once did she leave me wanting for more, and she never left me stranded. I've ridden newer, faster, sexier bikes than this before, but this bike gave me something that I've not felt with those bikes, the respect and the grit and the kind of bond that you get from going through struggles and shit together. So yeah, this is a special bike. So is this a good bike for commuting? So let's put it this way. So if your commute involves you going through a lot of traffic and through the city and a lot of traffic, yeah, this is probably not going to be super fun. Because, well, it's a Ducati, it's tall. If you put all the panniers and stuff, it comes with panniers and the tool case. I took that, and the top case that I took off. But not just that, if you're stuck in traffic, it's a Ducati with a twin. It gets hot. It gets really, really hot. So if your commute involves going through a lot of traffic, probably not. But if it's highways, twisty roads, back roads or something, that's your commute, oh yeah, you're gonna have so much fun with it. So depending on the type of commuting you do, this could be a great bike. Is this a good bike for touring? Well, this is where she earns her stripes. Touring. You want 1,000 miles done in 2 days? Done. You want to go through the Dalton Highway? Done. The seat is super comfy. The riding position is upright. You have panniers. You have a tour pack. A pretty good fuel range. Like on a full tank, you can get 210 to 220 miles. Again, depends on how you ride it. Over the course of the ride, I got about 42 miles per gallon, so that isn't bad. And more than that, there's that beautiful engine, man. The beautiful engine that's got the Ducati character. And she's just a storm that's waiting to be unleashed. Yes, she is built for touring. But not the Starbucks kind, where you just take it to Starbucks and you're like, haha, look at my bike. No, this is built for taking it long distances and taking it through twisties. It's a Multistrada, many roads. Is this a good bike for a beginner? Well, if you're brand new to motorcycling, let's put these things in context, right? About 155 horses, decently tall enough seat. I think it's a 31-inch seat height. Not super heavy, about 500 odd pounds. But it's got a lot of power, 87 foot-pound of torque as well. So unless you have a lot of throttle control, I wouldn't suggest this bike to someone who is brand new to motorcycling. If you're an experienced rider or you're coming back to motorcycling again, then yeah, this is gonna be perfect. You have an upright seating position. It's pretty comfortable. It's got a good amount of power, and yeah, and it'll make you feel things. And that twin, the Ducati L twin, the Desmond Dromic one. Yeah, that's an engine that sounds sweet and it just feels amazing. It makes you feel special. So final thoughts about this bike. Phoenix taught me more than any manual could. She taught me patience, courage, and that when life throws dirt, gravel, mud, doubts, bent rim, anything life throws at you, you twist the throttle, and you keep going. Is she my forever bike? Probably not. Someday she's gonna be a memory. If you've got a bike that's carried you through something real, drop its name in the comments below. Hit like if you have ever ridden past your own limits, and subscribe for more stories from the saddle. When I told people that I'm taking a 2012 Multistrada up to Prudhoe Bay, everybody was like, why? That bike won't make it. I mean, it's gonna die, it's not meant for that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, it says Multistrada. Multistrada is Italian for many roads, and it should be fine. And guess what? It was. We rode for about 3,000 miles with a bent front rim because there was no place to get it fixed in Alaska, so I had to ride it down to Boise. It kept me safe. It got me wherever I needed to go. Yes, it threw a couple of temper tantrums along the way, but that's okay. It never left me stranded. It kept me safe. It kept me comfortable. And it brought me back home. Thanks for watching, you guys. Keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll see you soon. Bro out.